I want you to kill every gopher on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're going to lock me up and throw away the key.
Gophers! They're Greek, not golfers. The little brown furry rodents.
We can do that.
Aye.
We don't even have to have a reason.
Do it, man.
All right, let's do the same thing, but with gophers. It's not my fault nobody can understand what you're saying.
First up, we have the biology of gophers. The most common gopher in our area is the pocket gopher. They have fur that is adapted to live in wet or moist soil, along with cheek pockets with fur lining. Their protruding front teeth that go through a split lip in order to aid digging and prevent dirt from getting in their mouth. They also use their whiskers to navigate at night, along with a sensitive tail that helps them navigate backwards. Here we have the anatomy of the gopher, specifically the northern pocket gopher. Their small eyes and ears are due to the fact that their other senses are stronger, like their whiskers help them navigate along with their medium-length, pink, almost hairless tail, which helps them move backwards. They have cheek pockets so that while they're digging with their teeth, they don't get dirt in their mouth. And their color is brownish gray on top and a buff-colored lighter below. Gophers only live for about 3 years, so not very long. But boy, do they live it up, because they are active year-round with no hibernation. They have 3 to 5 litters per year, with 2 to 10 young per litter. Their gestation period is 18 days long, and they're weaned within 5 to 8 weeks. After being born, their mother will drive off her young to begin dispersal, and they will move anywhere from 300 to 400 feet from their nesting burrow. The life of a gopher ain't easy. Gophers are loners, or prefer to be alone. Their burrows are elaborate, containing a nest, food caches, latrines, and water sumps to avoid flooding. They're extremely territorial. If caged together, they'll fight to the death. Breeding is really the only time they are not alone, although burrows can be occupied by multiple gophers. Unoccupied burrows don't last long, often claimed in hours, maybe even minutes.
Here are some of the basic behaviors that are involved with gophers. Gophers are diggers and create underground burrows. There are many different tunnels that make up a burrow. Feeding tunneling is usually 6 to 12 inches below the ground surface, and nesting in food chambers may be as deep as 6 feet below the ground surface. Gophers are highly territorial and typically live alone unless females are taking care of their litter or it is breeding season. Some burrows are common and are used by several different individuals. With that said, reoccupancy is very rapid, and a new gopher can take up a burrow within minutes to hours. Gophers are also active at all hours of the day. To demonstrate what a basic gopher burrow looks like, I've decided to draw a picture, so please don't judge me. But here you go. Here is your little burrowing system. Here's your little gopher. All right, and so here you have your feeding tunnel. All right, goes up to your forages all over the sides. Here are past burrowing holes that are now mounted. We'll talk about that when we talk about signs. With the burrow becomes a drainage tunnel, so it does not flood. Here is your food deep in the soil like we discussed. Here is another main tunnel, and here's your nesting area, along with your cute little toilet. One of the biggest signs involved with gopher management is the mounding. Gopher mounds are fan-shaped and typically have a plug or are open. Gopher tunnels are vertical underneath the surface. So if there is some mounding above ground in a straight line, guess what? You have a gopher. Gophers also eat vegetation around access points to their burrows. If you want to see signs of gophers, you should check out my front yard. Oh look, didn't take very far. So you got a little mounding and you got a straight line. The rest of this, there's been a lot of gophers in this front yard. Not very good. Look at even underneath this freaking little patio.
Gophers cause a variety of damage under the soil surface. Gophers can damage many varieties of plants, including field crops, vegetables, shrubs, vines, trees, and turf. They cause the damage by burrowing, feeding, and girdling plants. They can also damage irrigation and drip lines, as well as underground cables. The cost of an individual gopher infestation can vary greatly depending on the population, the growing system, and crop. Probing is the first step in any good management program in order to locate main burrows. Here, Terry Salmon will demonstrate proper tunnel locating technique.
So what we use is a probe, some kind of a device so that we can find that underground tunnel. So if you think about it, we're probing into the ground. When we hit a tunnel, it's going to give a little bit. So you're going to feel a give, and that'll tell you you've hit the tunnel. Now, you say, well, that's going to be kind of a hit or miss opportunity. If you look at the Gopher sign, if you look at the mounds, it can help guide you to where the tunnels will likely be. Here's one. The plug is right here. You can barely see it. And so it looks to me like the mound should be right over here someplace. Okay. So in that one there was a little bit of a give. So then we need to get a shovel and we need to dig that up and find the mounds or the tunnels. And you'll find a tunnel going in both directions. What we have is we have a tunnel, and one tunnel is going this way and one tunnel is going that way. So
once the tunnel system is successfully identified, trapping enters the realm of possibilities. Trapping is a safe and effective way to manage pocket gopher populations, but they must be checked frequently and reset.
Success! I'm Rebecca Brand, and I'm going to show you how to catch gophers with my favorite trap. It's the Victor Black Box Trap. I've got big issues with gophers. I've got a huge yard, and with a huge yard, it brings gophers. You have to dig a hole with the active gopher tunnels and make it a big hole. So I could film the video, I had a friend do this. You need to push down the rectangular looking thing of metal, and then you bring around the hook, which is the long skinny piece with the curved end. And in that hook, you place it underneath the grasper, which is the other metal piece that comes through the trap. You place the trap in the hole so that the tunnel is going into the trap. Make sure the black hole on the other side of the trap is available and pointed up to the sky, because they're going to want to get in that trap and cover it up so they have a black tunnel. All sign says I've caught the gopher because the metal bar has risen above the line of the dirt. That means we've had success. And I'm going to check to see if we got the gopher. Ah! We got it. This is success. See, these work so fast. This black box, this one was white, it's so old. They're my favorite gopher traps. Can you believe it? I got him, and he was a fairy. I should feel some guilt at this point in my life, but I really don't. And the reason is they ruin my lawn, and they are so bad for my yard. You need to get these traps to get the gophers.
Baiting is also a common management practice. Here is an example of an average baiter which probes the soil and releases a specified amount of poison bait into an identified tunnel. It's a very quick method.
X Exterminator is an easy-to-use, durable, effective burrowing rodent killing device.
Here's a common fumigator on the market today. By pumping tunnels with things like carbon monoxide, the gopher is asphyxiated and dies within the burrow.
It works through asphyxiation, by pumping heated smoke and carbon monoxide through their tunnels and nesting areas.
This situation calls for an expert. Somebody call for an excavation expert. I'm not in the book, but I'm at your service.
Underground fencing might be justified for valuable ornamental shrubs or landscape trees. To protect existing plantings, bury hardware cloth or 3/4 inch mesh poultry or gopher wire at least 2 feet deep with an additional 6 inches of mesh or wire bent at a 90-degree angle away from the planting. Also extend the fencing at least 1 foot above ground to deter gophers moving overland. If the wires are improperly placed too close to the plants, then they may cause root damage. Keep an eye out.
gophers are still able to burrow underneath these wires. You can protect small areas such as flower beds by complete underground screening. To protect individual plants, install wire baskets. Galvanized wire provides the longest lasting protection. Additionally, 6 to 8 inches of coarse gravel around underground sprinkler lines or utility cables also can deter gophers. Predators, including owls, snakes, cats, dogs, and coyotes eat pocket gophers. However, these predators also hunt other prey animals in their varying ranges. It may be that multiple natural predators are acquired in an orchard or field setting to adequately combat the gopher problem. In a backyard setting, however, the grower should rely on exclusion and trapping methods as their most effective gopher controls. A pocket gopher can cause a large amount of damage before a predator establishes and tackles the problem. Reducing gopher food sources using either chemical or mechanical methods can decrease the attractiveness of lawns and gardens to gophers. If feasible, remove weedy areas adjacent to yards and gardens to create a buffer strip of unsuitable habitat. You can flood the gophers out. Also, gas explosive devices are available and are somewhat effective at controlling gopher populations. These devices ignite a mixture of propane and oxygen in the burrow system. This concussive force kills the gopher and destroys the burrow system. These are not recommended in residential settings. No repellents currently are available for successfully protecting gardens or other plantings from pocket gophers. Frightening and noise-making devices are ineffective as these rodents don't frighten easily. Once you have controlled your pocket gopher problem, monitor the area on a regular basis for reinfestation. Level all the existing mounds after the control program, and clean away weeds and garden debris so you can easily see fresh mounds.